Right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Katani Alvin speaking, and I've not made a video for some while, just doing a lot of research. So I've got a lot in the pipeline. I've also got about 6-part series to actually upload, but I thought I'd better do a quick one to upload before then, because time has gone by and we've had the elections, and actually Trump has won, but of course there's all this argy-bargy because of all the fraud. Well, what do you expect with the Biden crime family? So here we've got GSA tells Biden no transfer of power until a clear constitutional winner is decided, that would be. So there we are. Interesting. So all the filthy, dirty tricks of the Biden campaign have been showing up, and one of them is what's called the Hammer program. So here we've got the American report, and underneath that it says the betrayal papers, which is interesting. So we'll go into that shortly, but in the meantime we've got this coming up. Now let's have, here we are, we've got this. This is about the Hammer software that was used in a number of states to actually flip the votes and steal the election or be part of it. This is Steve Bannon asking the man who designed the Hammer program.
Very disturbing. There's been a site called the American Report that's got a woman named Mary Fanning done some incredible reporting, particularly about a guy named Dennis Montgomery. What is it, this thing that's going around about this project or this system called Hammer? Explain to our audience what this is and why it should be of such concern to people in this current situation that we're in.
Yes, I will, Steve. The fact is that Hammer is what we call a SIGINT, a Signals Intelligence Program, that the NSA came up with years ago. The CIA picked it up under the Obama administration, and I broke it in March of 2017 about what they were doing on the Russian hoax. But the fact is, the Obama administration took this system and they put in an application in this SIGINT program called Scorecard. The Scorecard changes votes at a certain point in the voting stream. And if I can, and by the way, the Obama administration used it in the 2012 election in Florida, so both Obama and Biden are very familiar with this. Now, I've got to make a quote.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's important that we all understand it. It's by Joseph Stalin. I consider it completely unimportant who in the party will vote or how. But what is extraordinarily important is this: who will count the vote? Now, Steve, we have a desperate...
I've just stopped it there. That was a Stalin's quote. I'm going to play that little bit again so that you get it, because he was clearly saying it doesn't matter who votes, what matters is who counts the votes. Exactly.
I consider it completely unimportant who in the party will vote or how. But what is extraordinarily important is this: who will count the votes? Now, Steve, we have a desperate Democratic Party that will do anything to bring the country to a totalitarian state and as far left as they want. They used it in the primaries, and Bernie lost to Biden because they used it in the primary. So it is ready to go. I just found out about this yesterday. Sydney has played a very important role in assisting me and Mary Fanning and Alan Jones in trying to get the word out so the American people know all this enthusiasm you're talking about in Pennsylvania gets changed very quickly with this software program that switches 3% of the votes. That's
okay. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. General McInerney, I want you to give just quickly your bona fides. Talk just briefly. Give me a minute for the audience on your career.
Okay, 35 years in the Air Force. I ended up the number 3 man in the Air Force in the headquarters. I had 4 tours in Vietnam. I commanded the raid on Tripoli in 1986. We attacked Tripoli from my headquarters in England. I was then the Vice Commander-in-Chief of U.S. Air Force of Europe, and then the Commander of Alaskan Command and Alaska NORAD region. So I had a very extensive operational career, and I'm in the cloud business now, and that's why I'm so intimately familiar with what Hammer and Scorecard can do, and nobody knows it. Nobody knows.
Okay, now I want also, you're one of the most revered officers in the U.S. Air Force, an unbelievable career. I want to go to Hammer. Hammer was the single most important and the single most sophisticated, basically, system that came up after 9/11 for really intelligence or counterintelligence about radical Islamic Jihad and the ability to monitor that. Is that how the beginning of this started? Was a foreign surveillance system that allowed the national security and intelligence apparatus to watch our enemies. Is that how this thing started?
That's how it started, Steve. Very sophisticated, very, very capable. And the fact it was then adopted with the software packages like on your iPhone to the voting business. And it was to be used, and it was used in foreign countries. And so it was then moved over into the CIA, and they started looking at U.S. citizens. That is illegal. The CIA cannot look at U.S. citizens, and only the FBI with the proper FISA warrants, etc. Sydney.
Now, do you remember Snowden came out with that they were spying on the citizens? Interesting. And this is probably the software that was doing it.
Over into the CIA, and they started looking at U.S. citizens. That is illegal. The CIA cannot look at U.S. citizens, and only the FBI with the proper FISA warrants, etc. Sydney knows all about this. You know all about this, and it is extremely important that this was taken out of the CIA when the Obama administration left. They used some kabuki to get it out. They still have it up and running. We know where it is located. We know it's active tonight. It's active. They've been looking at a whole host of things, as has the DNC, using false IDs, and they are looking around and they're trying to set up this voting thing that happens on Tuesday night.
Okay, go into the description box and you'll have the whole link. And I want to find the website, I think it's Steve Bannon's, which is the War Room, which has some interesting information in it. Right, well, I brought this link up, and you'll see here, it says the whole Democratic Party has started to fight against the CCP. The CCP stands for the Chinese Communist Party. And prior to this point that I've got to, which is 5.58, something like that, he's talking about Hunter Biden and the sex tapes, and the hard drives were sent to the Democratic Party. And really what you'll see as we just progress a little bit into this is the CCP are using Hunter Biden, being the son of Joe Biden, to get their feet there into America, to take over America.
灭共了，大家口气很强硬了啊，然后他们着急了，就是我们一直支持你，就说白了。
Frankly speaking, they've signed a deal with the Democrats, right?
之前已经跟你签了一个东西，是吧？然后呢？
Then here the message from the CCP is that
这边意思就是说啊，你看你别以为
don't ever think I don't have your secrets in possession. So I think there's a little bribery which always goes with corruption going around.
把东西给你，意思就是让你们别忘了。
Don't forget, we have the evidence of your crimes.
就后面我有你的罪证，你必须得赢
You have to win this election.
大选，必须得赢。
First of all, you must win this election.
这是你不管用什么
You must do whatever it takes to win this election. This is the CCP talking.
手段，都要赢这个大选，否则的话
Otherwise, you will be in trouble.
第二就是赢
Secondly, once you win,
了以后，你还得听
you still have to follow the CCP's orders.
中共的。但是到司法部这里，
However,
亲拜登的就把它按下来了。但是，据说
to follow a fighter of our whistleblowers movement got it.
咱们爆料革命的某位战友把他弄到了，这个是江增喜江增梦，一箭双雕，一箭双。
Killing two birds with one stone. Well, there's more, but I'm coming to the end of this video, so watch out for the other ones I put up, but this has got quite a lot of interesting information in it. Right, here we have Trump's perfect election trap.
The crack that opened the door to this whole thing. Liquid marks? What are they talking about? What is a liquid mark on an election ballot? Well, the story goes on that apparently original ballots, all of the official voting ballots reportedly, were all printed by the Department of Justice and have all been registered with a sophisticated liquid mark to prevent fraud. 12 states were targeted. The National Guard has now, according to several sources, been deployed to these 12 states, which are Alabama, Arizona. By the way, I'm coming with good news here, okay? Alabama, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Texas, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Washington, Virginia, Delaware, Illinois, Kentucky, and will confirm official ballots. Official ballots? Yeah, it gets better. The DEMS fell right into the trap of this sting operation, apparently, and Trump has caught them all. You recall that on, let's see, what was the date? 11/11/2019, President Trump was about to get on his airplane. Actually, it was a helicopter in the background. And he was being interviewed by the media. And he said, I think, in light of all these things going on, you know what I mean by the fake news, the Comeys of the world, all the bad things that went on, it's called the swamp. And you know what happened? You know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done this but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it but me. Now, that was 11/11/2019. We think that that's referring to the 199,000 sealed indictments, but...
Sealed indictments. Well, I'll put the links in the description box. You're going to have fun listening to this one. So, God bless everyone. Stay well. And look out for the videos that I'm going to upload shortly, but I'll get this one done first and then go ahead and do a whole series on the level of fraud that has been going on with some of the actual experiences that people have been putting out on video. Katani Alvin saying, God bless and stay well. Bye-bye.